All right, y'all, let's talk about this one real quick. Nora Cornolle taking on Hailey Cowan. I believe it's been a minute since Hailey Cowan's been in the cage, right? She's only had one fight in the UFC so far, and I know she's been out for long periods of time due to some conditions and some illnesses she's had. So, going into this fight, it was really hard for me to pick her. I had to go with Nora Cornolle in this one. Now, I know that Hailey Cowan is much stronger, and, all around, she's seen as more the physical grappler here, but when it came down to the stand-up game, I thought Nora Cornolle was going to control the stand-up, and I thought she might have got a stoppage. I thought she was getting maybe like a stoppage in the later rounds because I seen Hailey Cowan's hands. They're not the best, and she really hasn't had time to improve on them because she hasn't been fighting that much. So I thought that Nora Cornolle was the wise pick for me. Maybe by a stoppage or a decision, but not in this fashion. Not in this fashion. I didn't see her with this turnaround submission win that she was able to score over Hailey Cowan. I mean, there was a point in the first round when Nora Cornolle was on her back, right? And it looked like she was attempting the guillotine on Hailey Cowan. When Hailey Cowan was on top, not really doing much. It looked like, Nora Cornolle was trying to lock in that guillotine. And the first thing that popped in my head was GDR versus Juliana Pena. And it kept playing in my head. I was like, what if this fight turns into a situation like that? Because I didn't really see like Hailey Cowan in full control. Like Hailey Cowan would get these takedowns like in the first round, but she was never in full control. Like she wasn't working. Like Kayla Harris, when she gets you down, she's elbowing, she's bullying you on the ground, but she's just looking for top position here. Hailey's just looking for top position and not really doing much. So Nora Cornolle was never really in trouble throughout this fight. I mean, she also had an armbar attempt. She had an armbar attempt in the first round. So that just shows you that Nora Cornolle was not really like drowning or lost. Like she didn't look like Jan Xiaonan versus Vina Jandiroba, So you could see Nora Cornolle was starting to step her game up on the ground, right? So that's how I could see like eventually like Hailey Cowan making a mistake, it was going to cost her. And it did. It cost her. Nora Cornolle was able to secure and lock in a perfect rear naked choke in the second round that had Hailey Cowan tapping and napping at the same time because she tapped, but when she was released, she was out. She was out. I mean, if you go back and look at the first round, I expected Cornolle to win on the feet. Like I said, I expected her to just keep a distance and just kind of pot shot, but I was like, okay, she's making a mistake when she struck into the clinch. She struck her way into the clinch, and this is where Cowan, like I said, is her strongest, and she was able to take Cornolle down. But again, Cornolle, she just surprised me when she got taken down. She went straight for the armbar. But she couldn't lock it in. But at the same time, that showed me that she was comfortable. But Cowan, she was using that strength, just really doing a lot of top control. Not much work. She was trying to drop some elbows, but she was doing a lot of nice transitions. And she did a nice transition, where she just kind of like did a leap scramble, to get the back of Cornolle. But Cornolle did a good job, man. She did a good job of defending the rear naked choke, much better than Hailey did. I mean, she just, kept moving her arms, just trying to hand fight. And she was able to make her way all the way to the end of the round. And also try to get top position there and just, escape the rear naked attempt. But going into the second round, Cornolle, I like how she started to put more pressure on. She started striking her way in. She landed a nice body kick. And when Hailey Cowan tried to get into the clinch with her, she landed a big elbow. She landed a hard elbow. And that's what forced Hailey to kind of get reckless and just throw out that wizard. She just threw out that toss. She wanted to get the fight down to the ground ASAP because when she ate that big shot, I believe, it hurt. But when she did that, when she did that toss, she just gave up her back. And Cornolle was not letting it go. Cornolle is strong too. Cornolle is strong. When she got that triangle locked around Hailey Cowan's, waist, and she was just slowly just slipping her arms through Hailey Cowan's offense, and her defense, basically, trying to defend from the rear naked choke. She just slid that left forearm right up under the neck. And I was like, oh, that's not going anywhere. We could call her green on the ground, but even Nora Cornolle, she's going to get this. And she did. I mean, she just locked that thing in tight until Hailey Cowan tapped and took a nap. I mean, Nora Cornolle's a little beast, though, man. I mean, it was unnecessary to kind of shove her off like she did, but I guess that's just the adrenaline pumping. But, hey, good statement win for Nora Cornolle. Now, she just needs to make sure she's making weight, and that's kind of been a thing lately with some of these bantamweights, man. Like, I don't know if that's a telling tale that they need to maybe consider featherweight. But, I think between her and Melissa Mullins, some of these bantamweights are missing weight. But that's no excuse because you got girls like Eileen Perez, who's not the smallest, and Norma Dumont, She's making weight now, and if Kayla can make it as well, they can make it. I think it might just be more of a lifestyle and discipline thing with Nora Cornolle. So, yeah, moving forward though, that's 2 losses now for Hailey Cowan. So, I don't know if they're gonna, let her maybe come back one more time or maybe do a cut so she can get some more work in with Invicta or LFA. It was kind of a premature signing. I think I said that before, like 3 or 4 years ago. Like, I saw some things in Hailey Cowan. I just didn't really see like some good striking. I don't really see like good striking fundamentals with her, so moving forward, that's something she really needs to work on. And even like her ground and pound, just all around strikes, she needs to get a little bit more aggressive in there. Strikes on the ground, strikes on the feet. So yeah, that's 2 losses for her. We'll see what's going to happen. I mean, it could be a cut. It could be a cut because I'm not sure she fits with some of these bantamweights right now. As for Cornolle, I know she called out Eileen Perez. That would be an interesting fight. That would definitely be an interesting fight. I think Cornolle, her striking is a lot better, but, I think Eileen Perez has been improving in the right areas. And where Hailey Cowan kind of failed, I think Perez might have success there, because she's good on the ground. She's not just going to hold, she's going to work on the ground and she's going to look for a submission as well. But that'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight. But yeah, the bantamweight division is starting to look up a little bit. It's starting to have some interesting fights here on the unranked side or the lower level side. So, we'll see what happens from here. But yeah, man, Cornolle, she got the job done. She got the job done. And that's what you want to see. We expected just striking, but with her pulling the submission off, it gives you some hope that these fighters are actually working on other things, right? So yeah, let me know, guys, what y'all thought of the fight in the comment section. Hit the like button and subscribe. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.